and he gets one away. This time, Sean Pollock just drifting it towards the leg stump. Paul Adams is there, and a sensible call of no. 2 runs, crew, 215 for 5.
If this was a boxing match, you'd say that South Africa had sneaked ahead on rounds 1 after the excellent efforts late in the day. Donald has been quite superb. For England, too many players got going and then didn't go on. 3 men 40, Vaughan, of course, unbeaten. Michael Atherton played quite beautifully earlier on for that 71. The South African bowlers, look at that. Alan Donald, 20 overs, 4 for 42. Just as you think he isn't at his best, he turns round and surprises you. Paul Adams, the other wicket taker, 21 overs, 1 for 38 from him. He was impressive today, and all in all, South Africa will be pleased. Most beautiful, beautiful Cape Town, if you were English, yesterday morning, when Michael Atherton, would you believe it, took the game by the scruff of the neck to the delight of the considerable English support. During the afternoon, though, the picture changed dramatically as South Africa's champion, Alan Donald, earned the applause of his home crowd. Yes, a top-class day of Test match cricket. Yesterday is something for everybody. Hello and welcome to the highlights of this, the second day from Newlands. A reminder that South Africa are 1-up in the series. It really is time for England to make a move. Let's have a look at the card overnight. 215 for 5 wickets at the end of the day meant, I think, that it was South Africa's day. England batsmen got going and didn't capitalise. Atherton played beautifully, Stewart as well, and Butcher perished on the third-man boundary. He'll be mighty disappointed with that. The South African bowlers, Alan Donald, outstanding in the middle of the afternoon when the big crowd got behind him. 4 wickets for him. He is a true superstar of sport over here. And Paul Adams, who may be a superstar of the future, bowled extremely well and had every England batsman under pressure. All right, the weather this morning, very hot. A different sort of day from yesterday. The wind has died down. The pitch looked good and dry. We'll pick up play with 2 players with so much to prove at the crease for England, Michael Vaughan and Chris Adams.
It's up in the air as he turned it off the hip down to a backward square leg position. Donald is down there, fine leg, so he gets round and they take 2. First runs of the morning. Field for LBW here. Umpire Mitchley walks away straight away. And so the end of the over, 218 for 5.
Well, Pollock is struggling to get it just right. He's bowled a few which have swung away nicely, but from a line outside that off stump. And whenever he's bowled a straighter line, he hasn't been able to get the same swing. And this one starting to straighten, but just not quite enough.
Oh, he's caught. Very well caught by Paul Adams at short leg. And Michael Vaughan is gone. Oh, it's Kirsten. It's Kirsten under the helmet, not Adams. And that went quickly off the bat. And Donald gets his 5th.
It's all happening for Kirsten. He can't stop smiling at the moment. That's his 4th catch of the innings. Bit unlucky for Vaughan. A little bit of extra bounce. High up on the bat, but straight off the meat of the bat, the face of the bat. And it's hit Kirsten, I suspect, in the stomach. But he's had the presence to just hang on to it, grasp it almost as if he's taking a high up and under. And that's the end of Vaughan, shaking his head. Very well played again, Vaughan. Got a nice start, but he's gone for 42. And England now 218 for 6 and in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, my goodness. Donald nearly had 2 in a row.
He's bowling quickly. Flintoff a little bit weary perhaps of some extra bounce and really not not in any position to play any kind of shot.
On target this time, Pollock. He's bowled 3 outside the off stump. This one straight, and that gets Adams another couple of runs. Quick ball up in the air. And they're asking BC Curry. Curry says no. If I was a Flintoff, I'd give and flex my arm a lot quicker than that. I wouldn't wait for the decision and then do it.
Well, we'll have another look, and it did beat the bat by quite a distance and hit the other shoulder. So now he's taken one on the left shoulder and one on the right. And a good decision by the umpire. Sometimes those aren't easy to give.
It's driven down the ground. Yes, two you would have heard from Chris Adams. Which is good calling if you can get it right straight away. And the end of a really good over, though, from Alan Donald. 2:23 now after 6. A bit late on that, young man.
Just a gentle comment from Sean Pollock as he knew he'd beaten his man.
Bowled. There was a funny little noise, wasn't there? But nothing convincing.
Yes, one of the quietest was Sean Pollock. He obviously knew that the ball hadn't struck the bat and just touched the pad on its way through.
Edge caught at slip. He's failed the mental test here, has Chris Adams. Applied himself for the first hour of the second day, but Jacques Kallis gets the breakthrough, and England are 231 for 7.
You're quite right. He's failed the mental test. He's been fed the outswinger. These are high-quality cricketers, high-quality catches to go with them. And the long and the short of it is that Adams has fallen for the 3-card trick, sad to report. Jacques Kallis is the maker of the trick, and South Africa are really powerfully placed now in this game. Adams has gone for 10. It's 231 for 7.
Edge, oh, just over the top of Jacques Kallis at second slip and down to the third man boundary. But that was not in control. But he hits, when he hits hard, so the ball flew at a rapid rate. Oh, that's a beautiful piece of bowling. It's gone to second slip. And Pollock couldn't stop it.
Now that's the place to pitch the outswinger if you're really getting it to swing. I mean, I think that was middle leg, was it? Certainly middle.
He's pulled that away. And he'll get 4 runs through square leg.
That's a great hit from Flintoff. Quite right that he should look to have a go now, and interesting that he's played better when the ball's been bowled at him this morning. When he's had to go after it outside off stump, he hasn't found it easy.
Oh, he's cracked that away. It's gone over the gully area. And I don't believe it. That is just unbelievable. Well, it would be if you hadn't have seen it on the screen. Third umpire will be called into action here, but this man defies belief. Hit back and going to be 4 straight past the bowler. Very nearly decapitated him. A little contest is now well and truly a spark here as Flintoff attacks. 249 for 7. Can be sure that Flintoff will be looking for a few big hits here. One slip. Down the wicket he comes. He's hit that in the air to backward point. Rhodes. Oh, great catch. First ball for Klusener. He gets his wicket. It's been a long time coming. And Rhodes takes the catch. Delight for Klusener. And Flintoff has given it away at a crucial stage in this England innings.
KwaZulu-Natal helps KwaZulu-Natal. Lance Klusener's first wicket in the series comes courtesy of a splendid catch from Johnny Rhodes. It had the skates on here, and then he got a bit worried about third man coming in. Then he was all right, and he just put on a little show for us. Very good effort from Flintoff. Probably a little rash in the end. He sort of had South Africa, and he could have just hung on a bit, I think. But anyway, 22 he's done for. It's 253 for 8. The catch is made by the pace to the ball. Where Rhodes is so quick is in setting off those first sort of 2 or 3 yards, the anticipation stage of fielding. And once he's covered that ground, it makes it much easier. He could have stayed standing up.
Edge Grant Butcher takes the catch. And Goff goes. Klusner gets 2 in an over, having not got one for 100 overs. And the England innings is folding rather rapidly before lunch on the second day. Out for 4. Rhodes again congratulating Klusner.
This is a desperate collapse by England. They were 213 for 3, would you believe, yesterday afternoon, and they're 255 for 9 now. Lance Klusner has picked up his first 2 wickets of the series.
This is forced away off the back foot into the covers. It won't go to the boundary. They've got 2 and they'll settle for that. Bowled in, backed right away, much as he did when he hit it through the covers, and knocked the off stump out of the ground. Well, I think KALLIS realised the way he was playing that all he had to do really was get it on target, and at some stage he'd miss and he would be bowled, and that's exactly what has happened.
Well, Donald probably the hero of South Africa's innings, but the support bowlers have come to the party this morning. Tufnell managed a 2 through the covers. His call was more a cry of triumph than a call for yes, but only 2 runs, and England all out for 258.
When will England stop these ridiculous collapses? 258 all out. That was a very poor performance. They were playing so well at 213 for 3. Stewart went, and look how many players got going and didn't make the best of their fine starts. Really, I'm afraid too many batsmen are to blame for their own downfall. The South African bowlers, Donald superb, 5 for 47 from the great champion of South Africa, 2 for KALLIS, 2 for Klusner, his first 2 of the tour so far, and 1 for Paul Adams. Right, we're going to take you back into play now with the South African openers, Gary Kirsten and Herschel Gibbs at the wicket.
Swinging down the leg side, I think. A maiden to start with from Darren Goff. Nicely played by Herschel Gibbs, not trying to hit it too hard, just timing it away through the vacant mid-wicket area and picking up a couple.
What a fine delivery that is. Big appeal from everybody. Gibbs. No, that's fine. That's fine. BC Kure says no, rightly or wrongly. We will see.
Came back beautifully, this. I had the impression it flicked the pocket on the way through. It beat the inside edge, but we'll see again. It's very difficult to see from the first look. And in fact, hit nothing. Nothing.
Oh, terrific cricket. I'll tell you what, that actually wasn't a bad delivery. It was just short of a length, nothing more than that. Solidly punched and brilliantly fielded. Wow.
The sound from the bat was so hard, it was like the crack of a gun. And then Nasser Hussain just diving away there on the hard pitch, of course.
Got that away in the gap past third slip. It'll run down towards the boundary, but I don't think it'll get there. No, Butcher hauls it in. Flicks it back to Flintoff, who completes the fielding with a good throw. Oh, another good delivery from Goff. That's twice he's gone through his man.
That's his other ball. He bowls a lovely little outswinger and then gets one to track back.
Well played. Oh, there's fun here if he hits. Oh, dear, oh dear. 10 for no wicket.
This is the bounce that was so easy for Michael Vaughan. And halfway, Herschel Gibbs gave up.
That'll be 4 byes. Or
Leg
wides.
byes.
What's he going to call?
Leg bars, I think, Robin. I think it brushed his shoulder. Yep.
Yep, well called. It's beaten cover. And we'll go for 4. The value of 275 in the first innings.
Gary Kirsten on his home ground. 23 for no wicket now after 9 overs.
4. No messing.
That deserved more than 4, didn't it? It really was the most awesome shot. He's looking to get onto the front foot. Got the opportunity there. Caddick trying to tempt him into one from outside the off stump. Didn't quite get it right. And look at that. Raced away as fast as any shot hit in this match.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled again by Goff. Little off cutter that he bowls every now and again.
Watch how he rolls the fingers over there. And it does get some purchase.
Oh, beautiful stroke. Beaten 1 minute and smashes the next one back with a square for 4.
This man oozes class. All one can say. He doesn't move his feet to speak of. He leaned forward and then leaned back again and just angles it perfectly into the gap.
Oh, it's an ambitious stroke and a delivery that just took off. That was quick, I tell you. He's got the bit between his teeth, Gibbs, and not a very good shot though. Very flamboyant. Oh, that's gone as well. He doesn't move, Gibbs just drives it away and looks as the ball races over this outfield to deep backward point for 4. Just look how bent that front knee is, and that increases his hitting area. Oh, he's gone, caught it backward point. Silverwood gets the breakthrough, and Vaughan takes the catch. And Gibbs eventually perishes. He's lived a dangerous life outside off stump, and this time hits it straight to point, and Michael Vaughan takes the catch, and Gibbs is out for 29. Well, I'm not quite sure that he intended to hit this as low as he did. It looked like he was trying to work it up over the point area, maybe towards the bottom of the bat. Vaughan takes a good catch because he's had to take it above his head, fingers pointing upwards. Gibbs gone for 29, very disappointing for him, 43 for 1. Pull that away, interestingly, down to deep square leg for 4 runs. Nice way to get off the mark. And it's 48 for 1. Oh, he's nicked that wide of the leg gully, down to fine leg for 4 runs. Yes, and this was a genuine edge, though. He was playing towards mid-on. South Africa's 50 comes up in the 17th over. Edge, caught, oh, dropped. Well, Stewart diving to his right, low down, a very, very difficult chance.
Good bit of bowling from Chris Silverwood, dragging the batsman into the drive without the footwork. Jacques KALLIS will have been surprised not to have hit it better because the ball didn't do anything.
He's given, as Dave Richards was saying, they've had little to drive Jacques KALLIS in the last 2 test matches. Look at that. Popped out. Oh, he's whipped that away down to deep backward square. And Silverwood will feel gutted.
Well, it's a tremendous stroke from KALLIS, and it is extraordinary how often it happens after a drop catch that a boundary comes within a ball or 2.
Lovely shot from Gary Kirsten now. Just a little bit of width for him, and he packs it away in front of square on the offside. It's 65 for 1.
Corking stroke from Kirsten. He's so nicely balanced now, and he's a different player from the one who struggled away in the first part of this series.
Through mid-wicket, beautifully timed, 4 runs, just too full from Silverwood, and onto the leg stump, and Gary Kirsten likes them there, puts it away through mid-wicket.
Beautiful stroke, he just nailed it. Didn't have to do anything, didn't have to move too much.
Pulled away. There's no one back there. Not that far anyway.
Absolutely right. He just leaned back on that and used the pace of the ball to pick it up over the backward square leg boundary. And the crowd told us, first of all, exactly where it had landed.
Have to hurry. Well, I think Kirsten was gone if that had hit. Ostensibly, they have run one to gully. I don't think they meant to. 83 for 1.
Well, yes, it was rather risky as well, but at least again, he's looking for the runs. Beautiful pickup by Michael Vaughan and throw. Gary Kirsten would have been miles out.
He's hit that in front of square.
Was that perfection or was that perfection? It was slightly over-pitched. It was almost a half volley for him to drive, but he knew there were 5 men on the offside, only 4 on the leg. Look at that. It was absolutely superb.
Down the wicket. Has he got hold of it? Caddick getting back. Can he catch it? No, he can't. So, a moral victory for the bowler, no doubt about that. And that's turned into 3 with a cheeky one here. Bottom line is 3 more to KALLIS.
Well, Robin Jackman was like a jack in the box here, not Robin Jackman. He was jumping all over, trying to see where that ball was going to land. It was a bit of an outside edge. He hit it solidly, but not solidly enough to get it to the boundary, and it was an impossible catch for Andrew Caddick. Then what he did was throw the ball back in. You can see he leaned back, trying to get it over the top there for the maximum. And Caddick had no chance of catching it, but did pick it up on the bounce, then threw the ball in, hit the stumps, and Jacques Kallis very quick to seize the opportunity of taking an extra run.
Kirsten down the wicket to a deepish mid-on, but running as he hits the ball. Good cricket. 50 partnership comes up in 97 deliveries. Beautiful stroke. No ball called. That had nothing to do with it, though. 3 here. Oh, no. KALLIS turns down the 3rd.
They're going well now, the South Africans. Lovely to see Jacques Kallis come out and play with a bit of expression. He's been bottled up so much of this tour. Kirsten unbeaten with 23, and England are finding it tough going. Gibbs the only man to have gone caught by Michael Vaughan off Chris Silverwood. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at the final session of play. Welcome back to Newlands in Cape Town for the highlights of the second day's play. We're at tea time and things are not good for England. Bowled out for 258. South Africa are going very well in reply, and we're going to pick it up with Jacques Kallis and Gary Kirsten still at the crease.
And they're enjoying this sort of a thing from Gary Kirsten. Beautiful shot through the covers. It beats Nasser Hussain.
He's gone through periods in his innings where he's been pretty defensive and prepared to wait for the bad ball. But when he has played an attacking shot, it has been very attractive to watch indeed.
Got it through again. This time backward a square. Same result though. The elaborate signal from umpire Mitchley. 4 more.
Probably an even better shot because this was not as wide, perhaps not even as short, but he's waited for it and then used the pace of the delivery to get on top of it and hit it down. No chance of a dismissal.
Oh, lovely shot. Just a little short and wide, but onto the back foot, and he's very forceful in that area. Just backward a square. No chance for the fielders.
Really quality shot because unlike the square cut where your bat is horizontal to the ground, he plays this shot so well with this very nearly a straight bat. Just allows the ball to get underneath his eyes.
This might go for 4. In fact, it will. There's no third man. And he placed that nicely to the left of the backward point.
Again, the straight batted square cut, you can get such a thing. Going behind square, fine enough to beat the point. This will be 50 for Kallis. 86 deliveries it's taken him. He had a chance and he's taken full advantage of that let off.
Well, there can be very few better moments than making a half century of this quality in front of one's home crowd.
Silverwood from the Kelvin Grove end, bowling to Kirsten. Delightfully played, there's space as well down to third man and no fielder, 4 runs.
The shot of a man in top form. He just angled the bat there, timed it well enough, using the pace of the bowler to push it away. Frustration for him, but another boundary. Look at that. Super, waiting so late before angling it into the gap.
Whoa, what about that? Well, he might be fiddling with his boots at the end of that over. This is a cracking shot. Hit beautifully. It's going to slow up and Butcher will haul it in. It's been another year worth 4, but certainly 2 valuable runs. 134 for 1. Yes, he's got to the pitch and driven it beautifully. 4 runs to Kirsten. Slightly over pitch, but Kirsten used his feet well. And a positive end of the over for South Africa. 140 for 1.
Well, Gary Kirsten really uses his feet nicely on this occasion. Look how far down the pitch he went. Got it right on the half volley. So it didn't matter whether it bounced in the rough at all, because he was so well over it.
And there it is. Took him a while to get going. Took the fielder a long time to get going. Kirsten 50. 8 fours. 128 deliveries.
A man who 8 days ago might well have been dropped.
He's immediately put away through mid-wicket. Goff is after it. They've taken 2. They might want 1 for the throw, which they'll get.
Another example of a well-timed drive not reaching the fence, and we can say that England's total of around 258 was probably worth a little bit more, 20 or 30 runs. Then you can safely say that South Africa's total of 170, probably around the 200 mark by now.
Field for LBW here, and Tufnell was quite adamant. There was lots of support from Alex Stewart and even the man at Silly Point.
Question is that pitching on the line of the stumps or not? umpires are immediately thinking or believing it to be pitched outside the leg stump, or maybe turning down the leg side.
He didn't really get hold of that. It bounced a bit too high, and he went looking for it way outside the off stump. And he's not going to get 4 runs. In fact, he only gets 2 in the end. He plays it a little more forcefully, and it eludes Goff. Is after it, and it'll be 2 more where it shouldn't have been anything at all.
Brilliant stop there. Absolutely superb. For this late in the day, wonderful diving stop by the same Chris Adams that we've just been talking about.
It's good shot, 4. Penetrated that offside field eventually. Just afforded a fraction of room.
Well, that's the art of playing a bowler like Mark Butcher. You just have to be patient, and one of them is going to be wide like that, or a half volley, and he just, look at that, straight into the middle of the gap, using his height once again. A little bit of a flourish as he finished the shot.
Kirsten down the wicket, he'll get 1 for this, and that's all. 150 partnership between these two. 297 deliveries. Hit him on the head. Didn't bounce as much as Kallis might have thought.
Really was a bad one. I think Robin was 100% right. He didn't want to play across the line. It was quick. And even if he tried to hook it, he might have been late on that. Will they get the dreaded 200 tonight?
That brings up the South African 200 for the loss of just 1 wicket.
They batted very well, the South Africans, just touching the 200 mark at the close. Kallis outstanding, playing strokes all around the wicket. And Kirsten, well, he looks an immovable object since that 275 in Durban. He really is in very fine fettle. The England bowlers, they gave it everything, no question about that. And Silva with the 1 wicket taker. They didn't have much luck. Things didn't go for them. Stewart missed that difficult catch. And they have further bad news, I'm afraid. Andrew Flintoff has a foot problem. We don't quite know what it is, but...